Welcome to the warm-up class for the upper body, and how I'd like you to begin is just with feet hip distance apart. So if that's new to you, finding your hip distance for your anatomy, you can turn one heel in towards the other foot and then turn it outwards. And then if you'd like to double check whether that is your correct hip distance, you can place your hands in fists, bend down, and place your fist between your feet, and maybe you need to adjust, but that should roughly work out around the same distance. So then come back up to standing, keep the knees in an unlocked position, so a slight flex in the knees, and keep your hands in that gentle fist, so the forefingers curling over the thumbs. And then we begin just by moving the arms back and forth. So here, we just gently warm up the upper body, and also helps to get the lymph moving. So the lymph is responsible for clearing waste in the body. Really important for our immune system to have healthy lymph nodes and have a healthy lymphatic system. So just as the arms are swinging back, try and get as much range as you can without being overly forceful. And make sure to nurse any injuries that you have. If something's not feeling right, just either stop the movement or go to a lesser intensity. So just check in here. No particular emphasis on the breath. Just make sure that you are breathing, and to just feel into the sensations that you might be experiencing in this movement. Whether it's you're noticing a lot of tension in the upper body, or whether the arms feel really free-flowing right now. And then our next movement from here, keep the arms in the same position, so the hands in gentle fists, and then every opposite movement, the elbows draw in towards the waist. And as soon as you kind of figure out how to do the movement, you can just close your eyes even and feel into how the upper body feels right now. Sometimes it can take just a little moment to get the coordination or to learn something new. But once you get there, you just work with the rhythm of your breath and your body. And again, as the elbows and the arms draw back, see if you can open the chest, spread the collarbones, and relax a little more into the shoulders. If your knees have become locked, just gently bend them so that there's an overall softness and buoyancy to the body. And bring a softness to your face, whether it's a gentle smile, just releasing any creases in the eyebrows or the jaw. And then from here, keep the hands again still in fists, but we now start to cross the arms over each other. Each time you switch the movement, the opposite arm goes on top. And depending on your shoulder flexibility or range of motion, you can start to bring the arms up a little bit higher, which tends to build heat quite quickly. You might notice that you're breaking a little bit of a sweat, or feeling your heart rate and breath rate increase a little bit more challenging. There might be a lot of cracks or releases. And just notice where they're coming from, whether it's more from the back side of the upper body, or the shoulders, or the neck. And then gently allow the arms just to swing by the sides of the body. And And now we bring the feet out just a little bit wider than our shoulders, so the heels stay in and the toes turn out. Keeping the hands in gentle fists, bring your forearms out like you're going to carry a tray, and then we turn one way like we're going to spin in a circle, but we only go halfway, and the opposite heel lifts. So keep moving like this, facing the direction that your body turns initially. Body and head turns one way and the opposite heel lifts off the floor. So again, just find the coordination in your body. You may even like the arms to be a little bit more flowy and open. So just check what your body needs today. And so by turning the head in the same direction as the body, we focus more on the lower and the middle spine, so the lumbar and thoracic spine. And now, if it feels comfortable in your neck, just keep your gaze forward as your body turns and your heels still lift. And just notice how that progresses the movement and the warming into the upper part of the spine. So into the cervical spine. And that could be really where you hold the most tension. So just allow your body to gently move itself around the spine. And as always, if it feels unsafe, just lessen the intensity of the pose or go back to your head turning in the same direction as your body. Just a few more times here. Bringing a softness to your face and to your whole body in general. And we start to just gently come out of the pose, not coming to a harsh stop, but you kind of just let the body slowly come to a standstill. Now bring your feet back hip distance again. So finding your hip distance if you need to, heel turns in, the foot turns out. And now bring the fingers to interlace just at the base of your abdomen and the palms are facing up towards you. Soft knees, and then as you inhale, lift the palms up towards your face, turn them out and up, reaching up with your inhale. And then as you exhale, the fingers spread and the elbows come down into a right angle, making goalposts with your arms, and then keeping the arms coming down. And we go again, interlace the fingers so the palms face up initially. Then you turn the hands out, inhaling, reaching up, stretch as high as you can, the side body, even looking up if that feels safe for your neck. And as you exhale, the fingers separate, and it's like you're pulling down a lat bar, like if you're working out in a gym. Should be giving your scapulas a beautiful little massage at the back there, moving nice and slow and timed with your breath. So the inhale, the arms come up, reaching all the way up to your maximum capacity in breath and height. As you exhale, fingers separate, the elbows come down, massaging the scapulars, really feeling into that movement. Let's do this 2 more times. Inhale. Reach, reach, reach. All the way up, feeling your breath. And then exhale, fingers separate. And the elbows come down. Nice and slowly to feel all of that release in your scapulars. 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. just notice how that feels in your upper body already. Potentially have built a little bit of heat, warmth, openness and freedom. And we'll continue to do so in the neck now. So we'll come down to all fours. Wrists underneath your shoulders and knees underneath your hips. And this is a really safe way to do a neck roll, particularly if you are carrying a lot of tension or potentially injury into the neck region. So just allow the neck to rest, hanging down as best as it can. And then do this gentle rocking motion, like half semicircles of the chin moving towards the right shoulder, and then it hangs back down, and the chin moves up towards the left shoulder. And then just do this a few more times. Chin gently rocking up towards the right shoulder, falls back down, and the chin moves up towards the left shoulder. So just gently warming up the spine here, the neck. And then this time as the chin goes right, continue the movement up and all around, so making a complete circle now. The chin comes up and over, and then the chin rolls down on the exhale towards the left shoulder. And do this side 4 more times. So inhale as the chin comes up towards the right shoulder, up and over, and exhale as the chin moves down the left shoulder. 3 more times, trying to coordinate the movement with breath. So inhale as you move up, and then exhale as the chin moves down and around. Inhale up, and exhale, chin down the left and all the way around. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, and exhale. And now let's switch directions. So now the chin begins in neutral, hanging down. And now we move the chin over towards the left shoulder, all the way up and around. And on the exhale, the chin moves down the right hand side of the shoulder and makes a full circle. And we do 4 more times to this side. Inhale, chin goes up and left. Then exhale, down and right. 3 more times on this side. Inhale up and exhale down. 2 more times on this side. If your wrists are feeling a little bit sensitive, try and push down through your index finger knuckle and make the weight a little bit more even on your hands. 1 more time. So the chin circles up towards the left shoulder and then down the right. And now just bring the head into a neutral position, just gazing towards the front of your mat. And then we'll come to sit onto our heels, if that's possible for you, for our next little warm up into the wrists and the fingers. If it doesn't feel comfortable to sit back on your heels, you can sit cross-legged or find a comfortable seat. So the next little posture to warm up our hands and our wrists, I'm going to mirror you. So place your right hand out in front of you and take a hold of your little finger and just gently guide it back towards you. Just gently opening up the tissues, the small little tissues in our hands and our wrists. And we take a hold of the ring finger We gently guide it back towards us, just until we start to feel sensation. And you might feel comfortable enough here to now close your eyes as you're familiar with where we'll be going with this movement. We progress now to the middle finger, just gently guiding it back towards us. And you may feel the different places in your arms that it feels sensitive when we place a little bit of stretch on a particular finger. So just notice that, observe it in the body without having to react to that sensation. Index finger. And then thumb. So this might feel different on different days. On particular activities that we've done can feel a little bit more sensitive, particularly if you're a writer or if you've been texting, or if you're a worker who uses a lot of tools and is clenching the hand a lot. This can feel pretty full on, but just try and relax into it a little more, challenge your mind. Then from here, release the thumb, and now take your left hand and place it over your right and gently guide all fingers back towards you. Getting an equal stretch across the hand and the wrist. Just 2 more breaths. And then release. You might even just like to shake out that hand before we come to the other side. So now take your left hand out in front of you. We first start by holding on to our little finger. Eyes open or closed. And then ring finger. Notice if you can trace the sensation of where this finger leads to, where you can feel it in your arm or even your shoulder. Middle finger. Index finger. And then the thumb. And now take your right hand over the left and gently bring all fingers just back towards you. Remember, it's just to your level. It doesn't have to be a huge flexibility range. It's just enough so you start to feel sensation now into your wrist, potentially. You might even be feeling it all along your fingers as well. Just 2 more breaths. I know it can feel a little intense holding the arm up. I'm going to release in just a breath. And then exhale, release, and shake it out. That should feel really good. And our last little posture before we finish this class. If you're familiar with cat and cow, it will be a really similar movement, except we'll stay sitting. If your seated position is feeling a little uncomfortable, if you're on the ground, you're more than welcome to shift that now. You can stay in your cross-legged or sitting on your heels or your chair. So now we interlace the fingers and bring them to the back of the head. So it's like cradling the back of the head. And as you inhale, open the elbows and move them back as far as you can, opening the chest, spreading the collarbones, like you're trying to squeeze your shoulder blades together at the back. And then as you exhale, tuck your chin in, squeeze your elbows together, try to get them to touch and round the neck and the spine. Inhale, open. As wide as you can, try to get the shoulder blades to touch at the back. Have that intention, even if it's not anywhere close. Exhale, round in. Try to get your elbows to touch and round the neck and the spine. Timing this with your breath in your own unique rhythm today or tonight. Inhale, open, and exhale to round. So a really lovely integration of warming up the spine and also getting a little bit of flexibility into the fingers and the upper body as well. Let's do it 3 more times. One more time. Then release the hands down into your lap and just take a couple of breaths. Nicely slow, deep and even. To acknowledge your practice and allowing your body to feel warmed up if you're progressing into the strengthening class, or if you've chosen to do this class on its own, just feeling a really lovely level of freedom and less tension in the upper body. So you allow yourself to sit taller, to hold your shoulders back, to feel clear in your mind because there's less tension clogging up the neck space and even the heart space. So thank you for joining me for this class, and I hope that you're continuing into your consistent practice with either these classes or other classes.